If you don't understand this one thing, nothing else you do, no workout, no meal plan, no hack, will ever work for you to get to your fat loss result. This one thing is the foundation for everything, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what it is over the next minutes. I'm going to do it simply, clearly, and no added bullshit. Over the course of the next 6 weeks, I'm going to be uploading a YouTube video each and every week, breaking down each step in a 6-part mini series for you to finally start taking control with your health, your fat loss goals, and your life. You've probably been told in the past one of these things. Fat loss is about eating clean, going keto, cutting carbs, intermittent fasting, perianal sunning, jumping up and down on the spot every single day for the next 90 days. And look, while some of that stuff can absolutely help, none of it matters unless you understand this. Fat loss comes from one thing and one thing only, and that is being in a calorie deficit. If you eat more than you burn each and every day, you will not lose fat. Doesn't matter if it's a completely clean diet, doesn't matter if it's healthy, doesn't matter if it's organic, sugar-free, or even gluten-free, or upside down free. You must adhere to a calorie deficit for you to lose fat. Here's exactly how it works. Your body burns calories all day, even while you sleep. And this is called your TDEE, or your total daily energy expenditure. If you eat less than you burn, you lose fat. If you eat more than you burn, you gain fat. If you eat the same amount of calories that you burn, you maintain your current weight. This is called energy balance, and it's a completely simple rule. A consistent deficit will result in consistent fat loss. So when a diet works, it's not magic, it's not the magic hack, it's just placing you in a calorie deficit. And most of the time, you don't even realize it, hence why you're losing fat. Let's say, for example, we do keto. Keto removes all carbs, which I don't agree with. It's not healthy to remove a full macronutrient, but let's say for this instance, we do. And what are carbs? Carbs are foods, and foods are calories. And most of our favorite foods are carbs. Things like lollies, chips, takeaway, it's got loads of carbs. And removing that food group completely lowers your calories without you even thinking about it. Let's say, for example, you've done fasting and it's worked. Fasting means you're skipping meals or you're only eating in a certain time frame. Again, you skipping meals or taking out meals reduces your total calorie intake for the day, which results in fat loss. Again, not one I'm huge on, but if that's the route you want to go down, it certainly does work if you understand the fundamentals. If you opt for a sustainable meal plan, controlled portions, calories, and macros, which means less calorie intake than normal, which will result in fat loss. The method doesn't matter. You do whatever pleases you. I'm not your dad. I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do, only to give you guidance. But remember, at the end of the day, for you to lose fat, you need to be in a deficit. And all these things, what are they doing? They're creating that calorie deficit we spoke about without you even realizing. And the question you're probably asking yourself, if a calorie deficit is so simple, why do most people fail? And the short answer for that is because it's unrealistic, it's very restrictive, and they just can't stick to it. People, when they go on a calorie deficit, the first number that pops into their head is 1,200 calories per day. Now, for some individuals, that is the right amount. But for others, that could be well below your calorie requirements for fat loss, making it way unsustainable. And these people that jump on these 1,200 calorie diets are then trying to train 6+ times a week. They cut out all carbs and enjoyable food, and then they'll blow out on the weekend or 3 days later and then absolutely hate themselves and run through this same cycle. You failing to lose fat is not because science is broken, but because the approach you're trying to implement into your life is completely unsustainable for you. And at the end of the day, consistency always beats perfection. It's not about having a perfect day every single day. It's about staying in a small deficit over time, or an aggressive one, whatever approach you want to do. But it's making sure you are consistently in check with your diet. It's about staying in a small deficit over time. Or for some people, they like the more aggressive approach. But at the end of the day, remember, it's something you need to stay consistent with, something that's sustainable for your lifestyle and your goals. If that's a smaller deficit, that's great. If that's a larger deficit in a shorter time frame, that's great as well. At the end of the day, you do not need to detox. You do not need to train 7 times a week. You do not need to give up everything you enjoy just to lose fat. You need a plan that's built around you and your lifestyle. Here's what we actually need to implement for this to be successful, for our calorie deficit to be sustainable, and for us to stick with it consistently. Depending on your goals, we want to be eating anywhere from 300 to 800 calories in a deficit. We want to be making sure we set a daily step target. Now, a good range for this is anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 steps. Again, depending on your lifestyle and your job and your time available. We want to be strength training just 2 to 4 times a week. We want to make sure we are hitting our protein intake every single day, or at least consistently. We want to make sure we are hitting our fiber goals most of the time. If you're a social person, make sure we are planning for our weekends, and we need to track what matters. We do not need to obsess over every calorie, every weigh-in, every data point. We just need to be consistent, and we need to know what we're putting into our bodies. And the last thing, we want to make sure we're eating 80 to 90% nutrient-dense whole foods. This is going to make sticking to the calorie deficit easier, and it's going to be a fuckload better for your health. And this exact process is what we put in place for me to help men lose anywhere from 6 to 25 kilos in a 16-week time frame. And we do this all without flipping their lives entirely on its head. It's very simple, it's very easy to implement, but at the end of the day, it comes back to your consistency and getting the shit done when you need to get the shit done. If you take one thing from this video, let this be it. Fat loss is not a trick or a hack, it's a process. And it all starts with understanding your energy balance or your calorie requirements. Stop falling for people's shitty gimmicks. Stop wasting your time and attention on things that don't actually matter or even move the needle for you to get to your results. This is just the beginning. In the next few videos, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your calories, build meals, train for fat loss, all while still living and enjoying your life. So if you're ready to finally take a step and take charge of your health and your life, and you want simple, actionable steps you can do all on your own, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.